curling, high school curling championships from Wausau Area Access Media. I'm George Hirsch with John Wilkerson, who is a graduate of the local high school. And you can tell, I think, by his jersey. and John now is a student at UW Stevens Point. We welcome John to help us with the strategy, and we're already in action. We have Kimberly and Wausau East 1 competition from sheet 6 out of there. 8 of them down on the rink, and we're going to pick things up for you right now. We need to adjust where we are because this thing started at 4 o'clock, and you know it's like 25 after. Typically 15 minutes an end, 8 ends in a match, and you can see the girls down there right now. I'm thinking this is an N2.
Yep, N2. Looks like the end of it. Red is sitting 3 at the moment. Yellow just missed. Not too sure whose that was. I just threw it. This might... Okay, looks like this is Kimberly. So Kimberly is the red team, I think. That's right now sitting pretty well. Yep. Just got confirmation. So odds are they're going to probably throw a draw top house here. Don't know if they have hammer yet, but it looks like they're sitting pretty good. They're discussing it. Red does have hammer, so they're sitting pretty well. And we'll kind of get updates on what the score is at the moment, but okay. So it looks like Wausau East is up 1-0 at the moment, but I think Kimberly's about to make a return here. Sitting 3. They're kind of trying to decide which side they want to draw on. Holding it out there on the side.
Okay, the Wausau East rink is Katie Perkins at lead, Anna Sewell, sophomore second, Louisa Duckworth at vice at third, and Adriana Fisher is their skip. She is a junior. So they have 2 juniors, a sophomore, and a senior. They do have some experience on that end. Kimberly, which is a yearly member of this tournament, they have Connie Lee, a freshman, so they have a freshman as the lead. Haley Christensen, a junior, a second. Lucy Dallavoit, a sophomore, at third. And Grace Dallavoit, sister, I would imagine, a junior as their skip.
So it looks like this is the skip's first rock for Kimberly. Throwing on the right side since it looks like there's backing, so she has a good shot there of just drawing into the house. Just has to get biting 8 foot. Gonna tick the guard sadly though, so it looks like they're gonna come up short on that.
Yeah, this is just underway in 1-0. Typically, we pick things up here, and it develops as we go through.
Looks like Wausau East is gonna choose to try to follow that same path now that the guard has been moved a little. And there's 2 red in the back, so if they're a little heavy, they have backing to land on. It's a good choice for them. Just got to navigate that port since it is only about 2 to 3 feet. So it's a little tricky, but it has a lot of reward to it with the high risk.
Mm-hmm. And in the background, you can see through the glass, we have a full house here, John.
Yep.
The parking lot, I left for a few minutes between, during their time to, clearly take care of the ice and all those good things. It's full.
Had to park at the edge.
Yeah, it's wonderful is what it is, but,
yeah.
And we are upstairs this year because of that, basically a request to leave as much room downstairs for spectators, which is what it should be.
Yep.
So there's your score. And there's the latest.
Looks like Wausau East is going to do some light brushing. They think it might be a little light, or perhaps the line's tight. Looks like the rock's not too bad of a speed at the moment. Hard to judge though from here. I think they're going to clear the first guard. Okay, they got that. Now they just got to get full 8 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Even the third's jumping in there. That's beautiful. It's going to go right to the center. Oh, they even overswept a little, but freeze isn't too bad. So yeah, it looks like they're going to be sitting 1. Wausau East is sitting at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Kimberly's going to have to find a way of getting that out.
Okay, Kimberly all set here now. It won't be long, and we'll be looking on the monitor for the rock position, and even who's doing the work
So it looks like they're
off the
gonna,
hack.
yeah, I think they're gonna opt to follow. Yeah. So Kimberly has hammer. This should be their final rock. They got to try to tap that yellow to get their score of 4, really get into it. However, since it's the last rock, and they can always just, as long as they bite 4 foot, they're at least getting their 1, and they're going to be tied here in the game. I think they're going to follow the, looks like the Wausau East path, which is a good idea, because then you're also not running that yellow into the red. So we'll see where she goes here with this.
Well, this is our third competition that we're carrying on Wausau Area Access Media, and the other 2 were not close.
No.
They ended in handshakes prior to end 8. So we're hoping for a little better competition in this one. And you don't know coming into a tournament like this. It's not seeded. It's a draw. You know, there are 4 groups of 4. There's 16 girls teams, 16 boys teams, and today all 8 are being used each competition.
Yep. She looks a little wide just from here, and they're not touching it, so I'm guessing it's going to really need to curl. Something tells me it's going to crash. I have a bad feeling about this. Yeah, she just kind of gave it a little bit of a toss out. It's too bad it's going to come up short, and looks like Wausau is going to steal another one on them.
Okay, so East now, after 2, is leaning to nothing over Kimberly. Yeah, Kimberly comes over here from the Fox Valley every year that I've been involved with this.
Yep, they get to share a club with Appleton. Is it East and West, I believe? Or is it maybe even North? There's like 3 or 4 schools that curl right.
3 or 4 of them, right.
Yeah, curl right there. And I think they all about have the same coach, Scott Armstrong, who actually has coached me of a boys team. His son I've played with. So
okay.
Kind of know them personally, but
yeah,
should be hopefully a pretty good game today.
Yeah, no, it's, and that, you know, curling, it's not a WIAA sanctioned sport. So they can go to one high school, meet together, practice together, and be a team. They have to have a name of some kind. It's a high school, right?
Yep.
So it's Kimberly. And this is the 3rd end we're into now, and this is the first rock. And because Kimberly has the hammer after giving up that point.
It looks like they're going to settle for maybe a tight guard top house. Not too sure if that's what they called, but again, they're up 2, so they could play in the house a little, see if Kimberly can make the hits. One thing Kimberly's probably going to have to watch out for is that the ice is not going to be as forgiving as it is on their home turf. I know the Appleton club gets a sufficient amount of krill with their ice compared to here, so that might be one thing they're going to struggle with since Wausau East girls do have the home advantage.
First rock for...
So yeah, first shot for Kimberly. Looks like it's not going to be a hit. Well, actually, it might be. I didn't see the call. It's a very light tap. They might miss this or barely clip it. Yeah, just a little down on the hit weight. Just need a little bit more for that.
Yeah, well, skip for East. Adriana Fisher.
Looks like she's going to call a tight guard. Pretty good call since they don't have hammer. Try to set it up so they can then draw behind it later on.
Second rock for Katie Perkins. The only senior on the ice right now for either team.
Looks like the rock might be a little heavy. Sweepers are kind of a little hesitant to touch it at the moment. Kind of just walking right next to it.
Glancing at their skip and then just let it go.
Yeah, it might end up T. Not quite what she called, but it's also not the worst. It's going back for it. Not great, but not the worst I guess they could deal with. Gives Kimberly a chance to either sit or to make a double. So we'll see what happens here if they'll capitalize on it. Yep, that's a good handle to throw there. They throw the in turn and they're, oh, he's switching around.
Yep.
They're not too sure which way they want to throw this. I almost agree though with throwing the in turn, just because if you're wide you can make the double, and then if you hit nose, you're sitting still good. But this could still work here.
Mm-hmm. This is Haley Christensen, a junior, with the release off the hack.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep, control. There we go.
Nice.
Made up for that first one.
Yeah. Well, things are open so far.
Yeah. A lot more open compared to last end. Not too sure if she's waiting for her. Okay, yeah. I'd at least me personally, I'd probably throw the hit. Then you're sitting two. You're just trying to keep it clean in the sense, since you don't have any guards to drop behind. Yeah,
Well,
rolling either way.
And you don't have the hammer. You want it open in the middle. If it's going to be something, you want it to be yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice handshake release.
She might have set it a tiny bit.
She's a southpaw, I think.
Okay.
Because I think her right foot came off the hack.
Okay, yeah.
I'll have to look at
There's
that.
a little bit of a fishtail. They're kind of waiting on the sweeps. I'm guessing
That's going to do
it's going to hit nose.
what they want.
Yeah.
You know.
Luckily, it didn't kind of backfire on them.
Yeah.
I was too sure if she was going to set it a little, but it looks like it came back just fine. She threw good weight for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost set up that Kimberly could hit the double if they hit, yeah, right there.
Almost the same.
Yeah.
Little difference there. Not a port shot, but
So they're discussing what weight they might want to throw for it.
okay.
They're going to throw the intern.
Yep. You're right. A lot of language in curling.
Yeah, very much so.
I think they'd be good charade players.
Yeah. Looks like it's really curling. This one might chip and roll out, unless it gets the back one. Yeah, she's just a little down weight on their hits.
Mm-hmm.
It might stick around. Okay, they got lucky there. That might come back and score some points later on if Wausau East decides to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Which, truthfully, I think they can. If they just throw up a centerline guard, and then just keep drawing behind, then Kimberly won't be able to use that red. Yep, that's a good call.
That's good. Yeah, you could see that coming. You see that coming. They're into another stage in this competition right now.
Yeah.
This end.
Looks like it's not too bad weight. Might be a touch heavy. They're thinking about it, but not quite jumping on that sweep. Might end up pretty close to the house. Yeah, it's gonna end pretty nice actually. Well, then again, it might have overcurled. Wow.
Yeah.
But second count's not bad. That's like their next best option when they miss the guard.
Mm-hmm.
Because now Kimberly has to worry about how to get rid of both of those since they're both count.
So now in that 12-foot circle, we have one in the red, one in the blue.
And Kimberly barely holding on in the back.
Yep. So East has the 2 points on the ice right now. But that's going to change.
Yep. I think they're going to have to stay close. It's looking like a pretty good rock. It's starting to take off, though.
That's moving.
Yeah, they seem to throw a little bit down weight hits. That's
wow.
like, I think they got to be careful. Kind of surprised. It looks like the ice is really curling a lot more than it was this morning. So that combined with their probably down weight hits, it's taking off a lot more on them.
Yeah, that one, they didn't use it, and you could see it coming. I don't know what.
She's giving about the same ice as she did last time, so I'm not too sure if her third just slid a little, actually it must have been her second, slid a little narrow, or she's just going to trust it again. Because we'll see where this one ends.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it's good guard weight. Do a nice light brush, kind of just bring it to the center. It's real nice. And even top 12, so that's another one Kimberly's going to have to worry about. Oh, they're even going to bring a top 8.
They're setting that up pretty well.
Yep. Kimberly's going to have to try to make a double or something to get back in this.
Well, I've got one piece of me for East and a small piece for Kimberly because I did some coaching at East, but I had 2 grandchildren at Kimberly.
Okay.
So,
got a little bit in everywhere.
well, and you know what? One of them is a good friend of one of these girls.
Okay.
I don't know which one, but a very good friend. Mm-hmm.
That's another one that overcurled on them. They're gonna have to start giving more ice. It must be that, not like the releases.
Well, we're in N3 now, so it's time to make that adjustment if they want to or choose to or can.
Yeah.
That's a big word, can.
Otherwise, we might not have a close game here.
This is the second toss for Louisa Duckworth.
So it's going to easily be back house. It's a little heavy.
No, it's not going to hurt anything except they're right there.
Yep.
Second shot now for Kimberly's Lucy Dolovoit.
Since both those yellow rocks are in the back house, looks like they're going to call a drawdown 2. She has backing, so as long as she's heavy, she should be okay, within reason. Looks like they're going to jump on it, so they must think it's light. From here, it doesn't look that bad of a weight. It's got to curl a little. Actually, they're going to have to get close. It's starting to cut, but it might end up pretty well here.
They're going to get 1.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to roll a little too far. I think there's second count, but
yeah,
not quite what they're looking for.
Okay, we are now heading to the skips. And you can see the third who's going to take her place as a skip there. They're talking about it. And then she'll head down the other end. Once the decision's made, here we go.
So yeah, she has about 2 choices. She could either play the hit on that red and then sit 5, which would put a lot of pressure on Kimberly. Or she could play a little bit more conservative, just throw one top house or even like a close guard just so that she might have a chance of stealing for sure. And then like, really, that's both either way could put pressure on. Me, truthfully, personally, I guess I'd play the hit just so that you're putting a lot of pressure on Kimberly. It's early ends, you don't have to steal. You can just put a lot of rocks in there to make them nervous, to let them know that you're controlling the house. But I think she's going to opt for a draw, so, because that lets Kimberly know that they might be able to place their rocks in the house without having to worry about it getting taken out right away, at least when it comes to the back end.
I might mention a steal means if you do not have the hammer and you score against the other team with a hammer, and the hammer, is carried over from losing the prior end. So in this case, Kimberly, down 2-0, has the hammer. And actually, East had a steal in the last one.
Yeah. Well, that one looks like it might be a little down on weight. Might be only top 12 close guard. It's really starting to kind of cut towards the end, though. It's actually kind of cruising.
I think these rocks are moving faster as they get down the ice. I mean, that didn't look like it was going to be in that circle, in the 4. or even 8.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of a hard one to get rid of. You got to hit that just right so it doesn't hit your red. Looks like the scrape right after the 12:30 game really helped speed up the ice, even gave a little bit of curl to it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Kimberly might just be playing a freeze on it, or maybe just tapping it back a little, nothing too aggressive. Which is completely fine. They don't need to like try to score a lot here. Just got to get the ball rolling.
This is Grace Dolavoit. She's the junior. Yeah, you don't see southpaws that often.
No.
Left-handers.
You might have to get on this soon. It might not curl, but starting to get close to that center line right where that yellow is. And I think
This is heavy.
It's going to jam, I think, on that red, sadly. Yep, just a little bit. Not quite what they're looking for. They're just kind of waiting a little too long on those sweep calls.
Okay, now we got one more rock for each. For Adriana Fisher for East first, and then the hammer for Kimberly.
At the moment, it looks like Wausau East is sitting 1, Kimberly 2, and then Wausau East might be sitting a 3rd count, and then Kimberly 4th, potentially. Hard to say with the camera angle, but from here, looks like it's every other rock is the other team's.
But if she does what they want to do, there could be a big change here.
Yes. Guessing she's going to
both
play
ways
on that red.
Mm-hmm. She puts on her slider, cleans off the rock. No time limit.
Nope.
No dress code. But most of them have team uniforms. One sort or another. You know?
Yep. Usually you try to want to wear at least some color that's related to your school.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not going to wear the jacket. So.
Yeah.
My problem is Kimberly and both Wausau East have red, so gotta look for like the red K and then the lumberjack. I think they're gonna get at least a piece of that red, maybe. Oh, just missed.
Okay, now.
If Kimberly plays this correctly, they could get 3. My guess is they are only going to get 2 here max, but we'll see. Because if they play like, let's say, a hack weight hit on the right side of that yellow, it's on the right side of the forefoot, kind of sitting back, they could try to double those 2 yellow or just move them a few inches. That's really all you need to get that red on the outer edges to count. But if they nose that yellow, I think they might get 2 here. So either way, they can get back in this.
Yeah, they're spending the time they feel they need to get ready for this. And, you know, each broadcast I say the same thing. It's a team sport. The coach is up in the bleachers behind the glass, and they can have 2 timeouts. One the coach decides on, and one the skip, basically, after an end. But it's early.
Yeah. Not too sure if she's just playing a drawdown 2 tap or if she's going to try to throw a little bit heavier. I almost think she has too much ice, but that's just me personally. We'll see. It is curling a decent amount out there.
Again, Kimberly is in red, as you can see on the rock or stone, and you see a lot of yellow in the circle. But that could change here now, as this is the last rock of end number 3. Kimberly down 2-0. They could tie it up with a good shot.
Yeah, it looks a little heavy. I think it's going to miss. Yep. Just a little too much ice, a little bit too much weight probably also. They might get their one though, it looks like, but
I think they got one.
yeah, I just don't think they're going to capitalize as much as they could have. But
Yeah, they got one.
yeah,
So now after 3 ends, the competition is 8. It is East 2, Kimberly 1. And the hammer goes back to East because Kimberly scored. John, we've got a good one going
yeah,
after the last one.
it's going to be a really good crowd pleaser.
Mm-hmm. See, they don't waste any time in between.
No,
They go right back to, go right back to work. Good focus.
this makes up for when the skips feel like taking the good extra time just to make sure they got that shot right.
Yeah. Well, and that did happen on that last one.
Yep, both skips took good time considering it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's probably also keeping this game nice and close is the time they're putting into every shot. Looks like this one's pretty light. Also might be over curling. I'm guessing they wanted a center line guard, but it's going to kind of cross over if they make it over. Looks like they're going to be able to drag it.
This is their lead, Carrie Lee. Cami Lee, C-A-M-I. Cami. Yeah, you look at these first names, it's changed over the years.
Yeah.
Spellings of names that have been around forever have changed. That's okay. Individual
Keeps teachers on their
choice.
feet.
Well, it sure does.
Yeah.
It sure does. Which is all right.
It's a good call by Wausau East. If they can make it around that guard, they'll have one in the forefoot, except I think it's over curling. They're calling it off.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, no, they're going to make it
Well,
past. Wow.
It may go right through.
Yeah, it might go back 12. Or back 8.
You called it, one or the other. It's
Somewhere
right,
back there,
right
yeah.
in the middle. Right in the middle.
It's still not too bad.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity early. Well, a clockwise curl. Let's see what the sweeping does. Oh, that does,
It's definitely going to be T, it looks like. It's definitely
Yeah.
finishing pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
Might go right down to that yellow. Or, oh, it's going to be close. Just a little over.
Wow.
Nope, we're good.
Uh-huh. Yep. Well, the second rock for Katie Perkins coming up.
I think this is a good call by Wausau East, just kind of ignoring the red for now. It's in the back house, so you can always come back to it later. And just keeps trying to set up those sides. So putting it up in the top 8's good. Looks like it's curling a little bit. Might be a little light. They're taking it. I think they can get a top 12 if they go pretty good here. Maybe even... Oh, they're really dragging it.
Yeah, it's really moving. I
Yeah.
mean,
Gonna have to like add a couple feet for every rock here
yeah,
compared to this morning.
especially in this one, isn't it? I mean, this is our second end we're really doing, and especially Kimberly, it seems a little bit heavier than they want,
Yeah.
or plan maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, just a bit. Haley Christensen, junior member of the Kimberly team.
So you're gonna get on it. It's starting to curl. It's probably a good weight considering how everything's been going, but I don't know if it's gonna make it past. Oh, it just barely ticked. Okay, it's still
All right.
kind of open. They can come back down to that later.
We're looking forward to 8 ends in this one.
Yeah. So looks like she's going to call kind of just a guard in front. I almost wouldn't worry about guarding at the moment. Okay, she's changing her mind. The call might be to go in behind on the 4-foot, which I would say is a good call, just to kind of draw behind that red on the left side, but I'm not too sure if that's what that call was.
Anna Sewell.
They're sweeping it. Looks like it might be top 12. They keep sweeping. Going to go for top 8. Going to get it count. That's real nice on their part. Partly buried.
Well, based on the strategy, they accomplished what they wanted to.
Yeah. From the hack, it's probably only half open compared to our camera angle where it looks completely buried.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, that shot from above up on the right-hand side of our monitor here is worth a lot, especially when it gets down toward the end.
Yeah. Looks like Kimberly's going to try to draw behind that yellow. It's going to have to cut it close to that top high guard on the left side and then just get past. I think they're going to chip it though. Yeah. Well, at least it opens up the port a little more.
Let's see what she decides now. I'm making a decision.
It's like maybe potentially another drawdown too. This time they might try to go for a 4-foot. Doesn't look half bad weight-wise. Looks like the sweepers are kind of just staying with it, being patient. Yeah, this is looking like backhouse. They might have to switch plays. It's for sure T. It's gonna go a little farther than probably what they wanted. Not too bad. That red might be a little closer though. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I would
red's
say.
closer.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. A lot of action beyond the center line. One end.
Kimberly has plenty of stuff to draw down too. Just got to make it through that port.
Well, let's see what Lucy does.
It kind of looks like it's hanging out there. It might make it through the port. Oh no, I think it's gonna crash. It's a little heavy.
No, a little heavy.
Just been a little outside on a few of her rocks. At this point, I think Wausau can just go top 8. I wouldn't go too deep just in case Kimberly follows down. Yeah, right there. Even full 8's good just so that you count that one red. Go parallel with the other. I don't necessarily like the guard, but that's a pro miss, I guess, if they come up late. At this point, you're half hammer. You don't need to kind of guard that 4-foot too much.
First shot for Louisa Duckworth. Well, the sweepers cannot touch the rock with their feet or anything like that.
It's like it's gonna be a guarded thing. Get it over. We're almost there.
Get across that hog line,
Yeah,
at least in play, huh?
Oh, they might have it. It was really grinding there at the end.
First one we've seen like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's not the ideal, I'd say, just because if Kimberly follows around and gets past that guard, they can just put one in the 4-foot and it's going to be behind a lot of stuff, so we'll see if Kimberly maximizes on this mistake, but Never know.
Be a lip reader on that one.
Yeah. Sounds like it's probably loud out there.
I would think it would be. You got 8 rinks going. A lot of action going on. Well, she's
Almost looks like they might be calling the peel, which I'm not too sure how to feel about this, because the lack of ice makes me think she's going to hit something on the center line, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're going to make it right through. Oh, almost had it.
Oh, just a touch.
Almost had that port. That was a good call. They just barely had it.
Yeah.
Just missed.
Yeah. Well, we're getting down to the last 5 rocks.
Looks like Wausau is going to throw another guard up. Still not too sure how to feel about the strategy. I mean, I'm not out there, so I can't see how big that port is. And clearly, Kimberly almost made it.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think Wausau East is only sitting potentially 1, maybe 2, but that red in the back there is kind of making it look like only 1. And since they have hammer, I'd say they got to try to maximize their points here. So I don't think playing defensive like this is going to really pay out in the end, but you never know.
Okay, we're down to the skips now.
Yep. Well, Kimberly has 2 choices. They could try to shoot the port again, or they could come around on that left side even. I think if you get past that top red on the left, you can get to 4 foot, and that's all you need to outcount that yellow in the back. And if you sit top 4, even if Wausau East chases you on that left side, there's a chance you could jam in the back and still be counts. So, but that port must be looking pretty appetizing if they're going to go through there, or if that's what they're calling.
Mm-hmm. Now you look at what's on in the circle right now. As you said, it looks like 1 to me.
Yeah.
But it's so close.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to change.
Yeah.
It's not going to stay that way. Skip for Kimberly. Grace Dollovoit.
I think it's going to be close. I think she's doing a little bit of a set with her rocks, which is why they keep crashing on those guards. She might make it. Oh, real nice. Beautiful. No sweeping required. Except that yellow had a little bit of spin back up, the way it kind of bounced around.
Yeah.
So it moved some rocks, but I don't know if that was quite what they were looking for.
Well, East has 2 now.
Yeah.
Plus they have the hammer, so...
Yeah, this is one of those shots where you think it's going to go well, and then after you make it, realize it wasn't quite what you were looking for.
Well, when you think about, the million possibilities for every end and how it sits, and then you go into the angles
Yeah.
of hitting a rock, how many possibilities there are to not do it right.
Yeah.
Accuracy, it's just...
Looks like Wausau East is considering the left side a guard, or truthfully they could probably even draw like full top 8 biting 4 foot and may really put pressure on Kimberly.
That's what she's kind of looking at, isn't she, a guard?
Yeah, the left side I'd definitely focus on though, just because the only other side right is like that port, and you got to make it really perfect with a draw, which might be close to impossible, just because of how much it'll curl trying to get through there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how far she goes with this. I'm guessing she's only going to call close, but like close to the house, but not quite deep, which is okay. I'd almost like to see her play a little more aggressive and kind of go top 4, since Kimberly, I don't know how well they're going to play their hit games. You might as well test it in the early ends.
Well, we're in end 4, and it's 2-1 east, and they have the hammer. And if you look at the circle, a lot of options in terms of scoring are involved here.
Yep.
And they've got 2. East has 2, and they're trying to protect it.
Seems like both teams are kind of diplomatic in the way they call shots. Some you have skips kind of just, they call everything and everyone falls, and I'd say at least with Kimberly, their skip and third definitely are communicating a lot, and this team, skip is explaining everything to her front end, which is good, just so that they kind of understand what they need to do to get the shot there. This is really taking off. They might get around that top, but yeah, it looks like it's just going to crash. Good weight, though, to get to the 4-foot. It's not quite what they wanted.
No, it didn't. It did not have the angle that they wanted. You can tell just by their body language coming out of there. And, you know.
Well, now that rocks have been moved around, Kimberly might want to consider that red that's on the far left. Problem is, though, is that the tap will be very difficult, since that yellow in top 8, if they hit it, it's probably not going to go where they want it to.
Well, he's still lying too.
Yep. They can make that tap maybe like a 1/4 inch on the left of the nose, the very front of the rock. They might be able to tap it just right back into the 4-foot, but it's a very careful, kind of sketchy shot. If they mess it up, East could easily get 3 here for their draw.
Well, they're taking their time.
Yeah.
They're taking their time. That's how important this one is for them.
Final rock for the skip.
And already down 2-1, which is nothing, but 4-1 would...
Not as great.
No, that would make a difference. Heading to the second half of the competition. Yeah, these girls, these skips have talked more than a lot of them that I've seen. Lip reading, I don't know if they're lip reading or they can hear, or you know, it just.
So they're very much communicating with their front end, which could pay off.
Oh,
so
sure,
we'll see.
sure.
Yes, they're definitely talking these through a lot more than what we saw with the boys' game and even maybe the game before. Oh, gonna hit across the top. Oh, she might get lucky. Not quite. Nope.
No.
Not what she's looking for.
So now.
Probably just play the draw for 3 now.
Yep.
I'd almost go the left side. She just threw on that side. She just has to give herself a little more ice so she doesn't crash on those guards.
Well, she's got 2 in her pocket.
Here we go. Gotta get full 8-foot to get 3rd count and score your 3. Decent amount of ice. I almost would give even a touch more, but just because it seems like it's kind of cutting into those guards. We'll see what happens here. They do have a little bit of backing with that yellow in the back 8 that they could draw down to. Looks like they're sweeping. Might be for line. Weight looks pretty good, so they just got to clear everything. They can't really afford to sit on top of that yellow. This is going to be close. Oh, they're going to make it past. Nice. It should be 3. It's not too heavy. Yep.
3 points.
Real nice.
Nice job. Now they open up a 5-1 lead halfway through after N4. Wausau East leading Kimberly as we head to N5. And Wausau East, they're looking solid so far.
Yes. Might be that just that home field advantage, but
yeah,
they have really good draw weight. They've done a little bit better than Kimberly has on the hits. Kimberly's been kind of rolling out on them. They need a stick or just kind of missing. Looks like they're getting fist bumps all around for Wausau East. Not too sure if the coaches will call a timeout and kind of reevaluate the strategy for Kimberly or not, but they might be. They're kind of all walking over there, so see what happens. Nope, they're getting the rock right out.
No,
looks like they're going to keep going.
They're going to keep going. The thing about this, too, in this tournament, and it is what it is, but we don't know the records of these teams.
No.
So, you know, like, what was their record? And who do they compete with?
Yeah.
You know, we don't have that information. So we come in cold, which is fine, on expectations. You know?
Yeah, the only thing I can say is, at least back in my day, which was only a few years ago, I don't believe Wausau East played Kimberly, so the odds are they did not play each other like before this state, but other than that, we don't know like how well they've done in their conference.
Yeah.
Looks like a little heavy, probably going to go back 12 if not through.
One thing you can go back on, John, is their history as a team, as a program. You know, if you look at state champions over the years, and we've got the list here. Did I mention my younger brother? One of my younger brothers was a coach way back when? I did.
Oh, that might have been the earlier game, though.
Yeah,
so.
I think it was.
So
yeah, 19. I'm not going to say when, but he was at Wausau Senior High, so you know it's before that.
Yeah, I'd say in the past, Wausau East has probably won a few more than Kimberly has, but I think Kimberly's a little more recent of a program than East is.
Yeah, well, yeah, Wausau, Medford, Poinet, Portage, Lodi. You know, there are communities that are curling communities. And number one, you have to have a facility, and then you go from there.
Yep.
You know, program and people that are involved, and I'm just pleased with the crowd today. I just think it's really, really nice to see all the parents and friends and you know.
Looks like yellow might be a little tight. They're calling for the sweep. It has the weight, probably. It looks like it might be top house. It's definitely coming up a little probably shorter than what they wanted.
Yeah.
So this is a good chance for Kimberly to capitalize. I don't know if they had called for the draw to the house. It's not what I would usually call, but they had a chance here. They're kind of just going straight in, which makes me a little nervous because I feel like Wausau East is one of the, maybe not their lead, but I think that their second can throw a hit. So I'm kind of nervous on them just throwing the rock right in the open instead of kind of freezing on yellow. But we'll see. They might pay off. Wausau East might just be a real big draw team up until like their third or skip.
See, I was talking about Partyville and Poinet. Poinet won last year's girls' championship. Partyville the year before that. Portage 2 years in a row before that.
Yep. Stevens Point for 2 before that.
Stevens Point 2 in a row. So, you know, Portage had 2 in a row.
3 actually. It's
3 in a row.
Yeah, Portage has had probably a really good program.
13, 14, and 15. So they had to go through. Well, if you look at this, Doberstein was in all 3.
Yeah, and
See,
she curls at the U.S. Women's Nationals, so just don't know who's going to be in the program that kind of goes on to like the higher ups.
Basically, the same teams.
Yeah, that's also helps.
We have the rosters.
Good team chemistry kind of probably helped those teams win state.
Sure. Medford actually won in 2012.
Yeah.
Stevens Point won in 2018. So, you know, it's not a given, but
Yeah.
those other teams have programs that show up every year.
Hmm. So back to the game. It looks like
Yep.
red had kind of frozen low on the yellow. Yellow's sitting on top of that. I almost, I guess they can wait for now on it. I like that Kimberly ended up kind of Christmas treeing on top of those yellow because yellow couldn't really hit it without getting rid of their own. Except now yellow's kind of sitting in a better position on top of that. So, but I don't think they've been calling that. I would guess that they've been trying to call the draw down to the red in the back four, but it's kind of just been over curling on them. At some point, I think Kimberly's going to have to use that red that's sitting in the top 8 and try to bump some rocks around so that they can be sitting, count a good couple, but it's okay if they can draw around. Looks like they're going to come up light a little bit again.
Yeah.
Another kind of Christmas tree. This is actually okay, because if yellow hits anywhere on those red, they're going to lose a yellow. And if red wants to, Kimberly can kind of just throw a back house weight, tap, and then they can roll 3 red right onto the 8-foot if they hit it just right.
Okay, tell the folks how you tie in rocks on ice to a Christmas tree.
Oh, so yeah, I guess I should explain that terminology. So, kind of how like they're making like the top of a Christmas tree, how they're kind of all stacking at an angle. So that's kind of just a reference we use when you Christmas tree a rock. You're usually kind of setting up the angle, so that's not very great. It's not a great angle for their team, but you can utilize it. And so really, it comes down to kind of just a game of angles at times when it's a close between teams. And so yeah, if it's kind of they're slowly building up that little wall on the side there, where it's kind of just going up like a house top corner or something like that.
Okay.
So Kimberly's gonna call. Looks like top 4. That's not bad if they kind of go right behind those red. Since it looks like Wausau is struggling a little with the draws.
Well, Kimberly has a hammer on this end, number 5. So
The draw looks like it might be a touchdown. They're sweeping it, but it might be more for line than weight.
this is Haley Christensen.
Oh, it's really coming up light. They got to try to get at least close top 12. It's kind of unfortunate because I think it's going to cover their red, which they need to hit later on if they want to make them count.
It's there. That's it.
Yeah, unless Wausau kind of opens it up by accident, so we'll see what happens. Probably on that shot they should have played the tap those red and kind of move them around that way. They were all over the place, but it is what it is.
Boy, that was a quick release after the last shot.
Yeah,
She was ready to go.
Yeah, she's cruising. Looks like it's better weight though than the last rock that was thrown for Wausau East.
Yeah.
They're having to sweep it. I think it's actually a little fast. Maybe not. I just feel like they're kind of over sweeping it a little, but it's actually finishing real nice.
Louisa Duckworth's toss.
Yeah. It's hitting out there a little though, so Kimberly could hit it, but we'll see what happens here. Don't go for that. That is a bad idea. If they hit that, that red might hit the back yellow, but it's going to kind of shoot out the side. They should really go after that yellow on the left side and try to roll center, because if they just roll about half a foot, they're kind of set up real nice where they're covering that 4-foot draw to the pin. That's what East needs, so we'll see what happens here. This could luck out, but the way I'm seeing it is I think if they hit that yellow, let's say nose, that yellow on the 8-foot's going to shoot out to the right. The red's going to kind of clip it, but I don't think it'll catch the yellow on the left like they're hoping it will. It might, but it's going to be real close.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah. I think she might have said it a little there. Or maybe not. It's hard to say here. It's really taking off on them.
Boy, is it ever. Something's going to happen here.
Yeah. Okay, so they're not throwing too heavy weights, so this is okay. Yeah, this tap's fine.
Yeah.
I guess from what I saw with the ice, I thought it was going to be more of a real heavy hit, but that worked out. So yeah, yellow can now promote that.
Okay. Second rock for Louisa. Duckworth. Nice release.
She looks like she has a little bit more weight than last time. Probably having to sweep for line. The second it touches that 4-foot line, you kind of know it's probably going to be close to a missed shot because you can't really hit nose. Starting over curl, I think we're not going to get what they were looking for.
Nope.
Yeah, not quite.
Nope. Nope. All they got out of that is it's part of the group.
Yeah.
It's in play.
On the
And
bright,
it's part
yeah.
of the group.
On the bright side, though, Kimberly can't really do much with that because
No.
if they try to hit it, there's a good chance it jams.
Well, this is N5, and this is really the first time we've seen like something like this.
Yeah.
You know, that's the part of curling that is
Real enjoyable.
It is. It's kind of fascinating how every end is different, and the lineup down on the other end is different in terms of where things are and what you need to do. And
this one looks like it's kind of hanging out there. Kind of needs to come back if they want to utilize it. Yeah, it's just kind of floating.
that's a loner.
Who knows? Maybe they'll use it. One
No.
thing I think Kimberly's got to kind of watch out for is those yellows that are on the left side for the moment. Once we switch cameras, I'm sure it'll be on the right. So yeah, those two yellow, they're kind of stacked. They're kind of like a loaded gun because no matter where you hit that one yellow that's on top of the air, it should kind of gear back into that red in the back 4-foot. So that's like a shot that's probably guaranteed. If the Wausau skip sees it, we'll see what happens though. They're kind of still looking at that top rock, which isn't bad because they hit just a little bit on the left side of that top 8-foot yellow, they could just tap it back. So they got 2 shots on your side. A lot to work with here. Kimberly could be in trouble real fast.
Okay, here we come. The skip's first shot for Kimberly. Some of them clean and some don't.
Yeah, it's kind of just part of a setup process.
Well, it's like, you know, curling's like any other sport. I don't care what it is, golf or tennis or whatever. A routine to prepare is part of the process.
Yep.
You can't do something different each time you're going to, you know. So if you watch pro tennis players, they'll even bounce the ball the same amount of times, the same height, the same.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is the same.
It's all about that consistency.
Or a baseball player coming into the batter's box. I mean, it's all concentration, consistency, and rhythm.
Yep.
It all ties together, and you see that in curling and with these girls and the boys too. They're learning that.
Yeah. Looks like that yellow just overcurled a little bit for them. It's too bad, but like I said, they still got that shot on the right that they should consider, hopefully, but we'll see if they notice it. I mean, from our camera angle, it looks like it's doable. I still think from the hack, you're probably only going to be able to see like an inch of it, but really that's all you need is just an inch and probably like back house weight. So we'll see if they try to shoot it. It's going to be difficult, but it has a high payoff. And even then, you could probably still tap that red into the yellows and they'll still get the job done. So I'm kind of hoping they consider it just because it'll make the game interesting, but
Yeah, exactly.
it seems like everyone's very focused on that left side, which I don't blame them because that yellow, there's the yellow in the top 8 on the kind of in the middle left of that 8-foot is tappable, so that's a good one to guard. But I don't know if that's the one that they should be looking out for.
All right. This is the southpaw.
You gotta be a little careful. If she's too heavy, she could accidentally make the shot for Wausau East. They're kind of staring at it, which makes me think it's a little fast. It is fast.
It is fast. Yeah.
This could be very bad.
Hmm.
Okay, they lucked out. Luckily, it curled enough that it kind of just chipped off, but that could have been really bad if they tapped that yellow.
Okay. Right now, with all of those rocks in the circle, including 5 yellow, Kimberly has a point.
2.
2.
Yeah.
One of them I can't even see.
Yeah, it's like hidden right there on the red.
Oh, I see it. Right above the 4 foot. No,
Yeah.
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah, so
Isn't
now
that something?
it was hiding right there.
Yeah.
So now that Kimberly's kind of opened it
That
up,
too.
that yellow on the left does probably look a little bit better. Yep, looks like
Yeah, now I can see it. Thank you, guys.
all I need is about back 4 weight, just to, maybe even back 8, just to kind of tap it right there to the pin. She might even want to go for a little bit more ice, since the last time her rock kind of overcooled. Because she wants to hit for sure on the outside. She can't really afford to hit nose, because otherwise that does nothing for him.
Okay. Kimberly has the hammer. After this end, it could be really tight.
Yeah.
Really tight.
Kind of comes down to like this shot and how Kimberly responds.
Yeah, well, Adriana Fisher
I think Kimberly
just released.
Yeah. Just from here, it looks like Kimberly might be safe though, because it's pretty close to that 4 foot edge line. I think it's going to overcurl for, sadly, from. They still might tap it to 4 foot where they have count 1, but I don't think they're going to tap it to count. Yeah, it's just going to kind of chip off the top there.
Yeah. Okay, so now Kimberly has 2. They're down 5-1. Do you want to try for more, or you just want to say, okay, we're going to take a pair?
I think they have a safe shot for more at the moment. They got to just play it smart. One shot they have, so at the moment it looks like they're going to try to draw around that very far right side, try to bite the 4 foot. It's a little unlikely, or like the probability is probably a little bit lower just because they haven't played that side at all. Everyone's been focused on that left, so they don't know how fast it is. It might be a little slower. One shot they do have is the hit on that their own red on the very far left, like right sitting there in the top 8. They could hit off that and roll to the 4 foot, but if they mess up there and are wide or narrow, depending on which handle they give, they could tap a yellow. So this is kind of probably the safer shot, just I don't know if it's as likely as the other.
It looks like
she's just throwing it away.
Yeah, she's just tossing it.
Okay.
And not, you know. Okay, their strategy was to take 2.
Yeah, which isn't a bad strategy.
No,
it's
they
like
got
why,
the hammer.
why risk it when you have 2 points?
So now it's 5-3 as we move on. Yep. Three ends to go. 5-3. We've got a good one, John.
Yeah.
Competitive.
The question is will Kimberly continue this process of kind of coming back from their little bit of a slump, or if Wausau is going to kind of lock down and decide to keep scoring like they were in the first half?
Mm-hmm. There are times, though, like even if the score is a little tight, you can almost see and observe enough to know which team has more of the control.
Yeah.
You know, making the better shots when they have to, that kinds of thing.
Yeah.
You know, gauging the ice factor. You know, there is so much that goes into curling.
Yeah.
Wow.
So just watching from what she just called, looks like Kimberly called for maybe a top house or very close guard. It looked to me though like top house. And just from kind of watching that strategy, when you're down 2, I'd almost think that Wausau East should be probably like the better team at the moment, at least strategy-wise. They just kind of missed a few of their shots that last one, which is why Kimberly scored. However, that did come up short, so that's good for Kimberly. I don't know if that was exactly what they called, but I'd say that's better for them because now they don't have to worry about Wausau East taking that out, and they can just draw behind it.
Well, again, you know, East has the hammer now, so And part of Kimberly's strategy is to plug up the middle,
Yeah.
not let it open.
They're really having to sweep that one to get it over. But looks like it'll be fine. And I'd say that's a good spacing of the guards. They can draw right behind it if they need to. So yeah, looks like she's calling another one top 12. Well, yeah. Okay, she's drawing that way. Not necessarily what I'd call. I'd rather go kind of left side through the port, behind, or right side around that red rock they just threw up, because you want to score in that 4-foot. Kind of throwing it top 12 gives East the opportunity to hit and keep Kimberly out of this game, but we'll see what happens here. Looks like it's going to come up light, though. Ooh, they might not even get it over. Oh, just maybe. Good sweep.
Yeah, it's out of view.
Yeah. Well, they have 2 guards now, so they just gotta draw to the 4-foot. East is gonna go right around the edge, or to the wing. That port might be a little bit smaller than it was before, but it might be fine.
There's a little more weight on that one than the last one.
Yeah. Almost thinking that she's a little narrow, though, just from looking at this, but they might clear it. Oh, they're calling off sweep, so they must be good. Just gonna just, yep, get right by.
Right
Real nice.
through.
Good weight. That was real nice.
Yeah, good shot.
Alright, there we go. It's a good call. Kimberly goes straight to the 4-foot. Yep, I like this.
Okay, this is Haley Christensen now with her first push.
It's already taking off. I don't know what happened there, if it picked or what.
I think she put it down a little awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like losing handle and everything.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. You know, it came out of her hands.
A little loose.
Yeah.
They should have sweeping. They could have gotten it to the top 12, but it is what it is. Well, Wausau is going to go try to beat Kimberly to the center.
Anna Sewell. For the Lumberjacks.
Might be a little tight, but once again, it's kind of hard to say from my angle. It's definitely curling. They're going to clear the first guard. It looks like they're going to be just fine. That's a real beauty. It's going to go like top 8, top 4. Oh, the shift slipped a little bit earlier. They could have gone that real nice. Top 8's not bad, though.
Well, things are developing for them.
Looks like Kimberly wants to kind of play the tap there. Not necessarily a bad call. I'd almost draw the left side, though, and kind of just freeze on top of that yellow, since it's probably, I'd say, 2 inches are peeking out behind that guard. So if you just do a setup rock, you could hit it later. 'Cause hitting this, the risk is that you open it up, which kind of hurts you since you don't have hammer. But if you do make it, though, it's a real nice shot. So it's going to be a little bit of a high risk, high reward shot right here.
Okay, they're busy.
I'm sweeping it. They might clear the top. Oh, just clipped.
No.
Almost had it. At least they're sweeping this
Well,
one though, to the house.
know,
Oh, they're even going to sweep at second count.
yeah, it's not all bad.
Yeah, they could have gotten a lot worse. Yeah, that's a good call on Wausau East part. Just hit it. Then you're sitting 3. Just roll behind to the center.
So let's see what Anna does.
It's going to be close. They might make it. Yeah, I think they're going to get it just barely. It's really curling though.
That's going to go right
To nose, yep.
through. Nice takeout.
Looks like Kimberly's going to try to do the run again.
Well, we're on our thirds now, so we're over halfway through the end, and it's starting to develop here a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, Lucy doing what I'm guessing her sister wants her to do, the skip.
Yeah.
She's the third.
I think it's going to be close. Oh, they just keep taking that top guard.
This is the,
Oh, it's going to miss all.
Oh, it's going to go through the back end.
Real close. Just couldn't catch a break there. That's the second one to do that to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of unfortunate because it's not even moving the guard enough that they can then shoot it from the other side. Just keeps like taking it just enough, but just to keep teasing them.
Louisa Duckworth, if you watch her every time, she does focus well.
Yeah.
She does have a nice release, and she has good focus, consistency.
Yeah, definitely what you need in a third.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes the difference between whether the skip's going to have to throw a trick shot or if they get a nice easy draw or guard.
Right. Yeah, each of the curlers has a role to play. Your lead, your second, your third, and your skip. You know, it's a different situation they face.
Yeah.
Different expectations for them. You know.
So Kimberly's still going to go after that top red on the right side. We'll see if it actually finally pays off or if it's going to get them again. Sometimes you just got to cut your losses. Another shot they could do is go for the yellow on the kind of right side when you look at the main camera. It's like they're in the 8-foot, but who knows, they might make this and it'll finally pay off for them. It looks like that one's really falling. I think they're going to hit thin or go, they might field goal or go right between everything. Oh, it's going to chip. Oh, they might get one.
Wow.
There they go. At least they got one out.
They got one out. The skip roll, and I've got this down here, so I'm just going to run through some of these. How fast a rock he or she wants, and where he or she wants it to end up. Right arm calls for a clockwise turn, left arm a counterclockwise turn. You know, there's more to it than that, but that gives you some idea of, you know, a particular role that she has.
Yeah.
And that's for every. I mean, she's involved with every rock.
Yep, she plays a key role in deciding how this game's going to run. Of course, it also depends on the teammates making the shots she calls.
Well, yeah. Uh-huh.
I think this one might be a little light. They're kind of sweeping. I think this is going to end up being a guard. I'd rather they almost go top 12 just so that they're kind of putting more pressure on Kimberly, but this works.
Mm-hmm. The second needs to have a wider variety of shots than the lead does, because the lead has, you know, it's open.
Yeah.
And weights, long guards, takeouts in the back rings, okay, tap backs, a lot of this curling terminology, raises, splits, and number one, consistently hit the broom.
Yeah.
Number two. Okay, number three, the third, They don't say anything, but she takes care of. I gotta find a different source on that one. Not much there.
Looks like they're considering the tap again on that red on the top. I mean, they could potentially make it. They're going to have to cut it real close to the guard. I almost think they got to try a different shot here and kind of call it on those taps. They just haven't been paying off. If they can bury a rock somewhere in the 8th foot, they outcount at least one. The draw to the right might be possible. The left port is a little tight, but it's also doable, I'd say. Another option is they just play a hit on that yellow that's way on the far left side. You're getting rid of a rock that could be count, and if you hit it just right, you can roll all the way to the back 4 foot. So then you're sitting count, and it's going to be hard to get to you. But that's a more of a really, I guess, like risky shot. Well, I don't want to say it's necessarily risky, but it's definitely, you got to be way accurate with it.
Okay, I think they've decided what they're going to do, and here she comes.
Yep, looks like she's
Toward the camera.
Play the draw through the port.
Mm-hmm.
On the far right.
Well, we're in N6, so they've got 2 after this, and East is leading by 2, and they have the hammer.
Yep.
This end is critical.
Yeah.
For the outcome, really. I mean, they could tighten it up and really make it exciting and interesting, or they can not put them away necessarily, but make it very difficult.
Yeah, if Wausau scores here, Kimberly's going to have an uphill battle. They're going to have to probably steal it. Well, not steal. They're going to have to first win the next end by scoring, and then they're going to have to steal probably in the 8th. But
Right.
if they can steal here and close the gap, they can afford to give up a point somewhere to Wausau East as long as they take like 2 or 3. So the odds will decrease for each like point that Wausau East gets here. So they're going to play the draw through the left port now. Oh, actually, I don't know what happened there. She kind of turned it in. That is, she might be playing the tap, but I don't think it's going to be there. That's going to hit the top.
Yeah, the angle wasn't there.
Yeah.
Just basically a rock that was played.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of open there in the center now, so
Yeah.
Wausau has to worry about that since Kimberly could try to come through there. Guard's not a bad idea. If they get 2 here, it's 7-3. They're up 4. It's not bad at all. And they have hammers, so they can still end up getting 3 here depending on what Kimberly throws. So yeah, guard I would say is not a bad call here. We're really discussing their options.
They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty, that concentric circle is pretty empty compared to the last one.
Yeah.
When you had talked about a Christmas tree. But in some ways that is an advantage for the hammer.
Yes, very much so. More open house makes usually an easier draw for the skip.
Right.
Doesn't have to get as perfect. I don't know if she has enough ice here. Well, we'll see.
Her release was early, it seemed to me. No, that's just to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I think this is going to overcrow a little, but you never know. Looks like they're going to go deep into the house. Oh, nope. Just kind of chipped off.
Okay, well, we got 1 rock for each yet here in this N6. Kimberly, because they do not have the hammer, they scored 2 in the last end. It's Grace Dulavoit talking to the vice. Do you think they look like sisters?
They might. I guess their hair kind of parts the same way.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know many Dolovoids are in the Kimberly area.
Yeah. They should be able to hit that yellow. I think there's like 3/4 showing. They definitely want to at least draw to it to force to 1 potentially, but I would definitely play the hit, and then most East is getting here is 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this. They kind of look like they're holding really close ice, and they're going to try to run their red. But that, I don't think it's going to benefit. I don't think they're going to reap as good of a reward from this shot. We'll see.
All right.
Sending it out there isn't going to do much good. I think they just got to go for that top 1.
Okay, we're in end 6. They're struggling with the decision. Is this a coach timeout time?
I believe coaches can only call timeouts in between ends to kind of discuss.
Oh, I know the skip can.
Yeah, skip can. I would say that they might want to, if they're going to talk this long about it, this might be a good one to kind of discuss. I mean, me personally, I think you just got to hit that yellow, roll to the right, and hope they miss or something, and then they only take 1, or you take 1. Because I don't know. She has ice that's like in between. It's either she's going to make this, or she's going to chip off, and then they're going to sit potentially 1-2. So kind of depends on where this hits here. I don't know how she's going to release it, because I feel like some of her options have been a little outside, but also some of them have been online. So this will be interesting. She really wants that yellow rock out of her way.
Mm-hmm. Well, based on their discussion, this is a very, very important toss.
It's looking good. Might be a touch outside. It's got to curl back a little. They might want to stay close, though, just in case.
It's
they might,
heavy, but it's...
they can at least sweep it out.
Well, they'll get it out of there.
Get rid of 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Glad they went after that one, though.
Yeah. Now, for Adriana Fisher, the skip, she's already made the decision.
Yeah. Draw. Just got to get full 12 and you're set.
Yeah. Just put 1 more on there. Put a draw on and go to the next one with the 7-3 lead.
Yep. Going to the 7th up 4 is a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Even better when it's 8th, but
I think the East girls have played pretty well.
Oh yeah. I think their home ice advantage is really showing here. They've got they're locked in.
Yeah.
I don't know the results of their first game, but they might be a really good contender for state this year.
There we go.
Sounds like it's past that top yellow. Just chipped. Oh no, they should go sweep.
It's gonna get in there.
Oh, they got lucky. It's gonna
they got 2. Wow.
That's one way of doing it.
Oh, okay. Don't ever make
crowd.
it look easy, you know.
Yeah.
All right, 7-3 after 6, 2 to go. East up over Kimberly, and this has been, if you look at the board here, it's been a kind of seesaw who scores.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, Wausau East has done a little bit better job of capitalizing with that hammer.
Yeah, and they had 1 steal, at least 1 in there.
Yep.
So, but it's not over. Not over. N7.
We'll see if they're gonna go right into the next one, or if the coaches are gonna kind of reevaluate. Oh, it looks like they might just be throwing again. Kind of waiting for Kimberly's coach to maybe potentially call a timeout and discuss with them since they're down 4, but that might not happen until 8th end.
Yeah.
Or right before it.
Yeah. Depends on what happens here.
Yeah.
You know, and what that looks like.
Looks like Wausau is throwing. Guessing they'll just go straight to the house since they're up 4.
Mm-hmm.
Starting guard isn't the worst, but you might as well just try to keep it a little bit more clean since you have that lead. Looks like it's going to be a middle guard.
Well, they put the scoring up there.
Yep.
Somebody's job, right?
Yeah. One of the fun parts about being a third, you get to hang the score.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks like they're going to go for the center. Still not too sure how to feel about this strategy just because they might want to keep it open since they have hammer. But they also got to score 4 points here within the next 2 ends to at least stay in it with Wausau East. Looks like Wausau East is going to kind of just draw around that side. That's what she's looking like. She's standing over there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Spiting 4 foot should be good.
Concentration.
Yeah. They got around the guard. And I think they're going to be T. Real nice.
Isn't that nice?
Yep.
I mean, you're up 7-3, and you know you're protecting a good-sized lead, and you put it right in there.
Yeah, I think that just proves how locked in Wausau East is.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that tells you something right there. They're not losing focus. They're not overconfident. They're going to just, you know,
keep coming after Kimberly and
mm-hmm.
keeping them on the ropes there.
Yep.
That one's might be a little bit down on weight, but once again, it's hard to say from just sitting here watching. I'm guessing they're going to have to sweep at least towards the end. Yep, there they go. Not too sure how to feel about Kimberly's strategy. Looks like they waited a little too long on that sweep, but kind of going towards that center, unless you're making those draws like East is, you're helping them instead of more hurting you. And since they're still struggling, I'm going to say Wausau East is going to probably profit this end compared to Kimberly, but you never know. It could always change in one shot.
Well, we're at Anna Sewell now for East. Second.
So it's got good weight. It's kind of looking like it's starting to curl. They might have to sweep it to get past, but it might be fine. Looks like they're going to be fine. Might even be back house. It's kind of heavy.
It's a bit heavy. But, you know, there you go. That's not bad.
Nope. The yellow's sitting 2. Red could almost just play the hit on that yellow and then sit on the other. Hit the right yellow, roll to the left, and then Wausau East is going to have the hardest time trying to get Kimberly out, but they might just choose to kind of sit on it. We'll see what happens here. You're going to have to stay close. It's starting to curl. I think if it touches that center line, oh, they're going to make it around the yellow this time. Make a nice draw down to that yellow. That's not bad.
No, it isn't bad at all. It gives them some options in there.
Yep. Yellow's got to be careful not to accidentally punch that red into theirs. Yeah, she's going to play a guard. She's still sitting 2, so it's not a bad choice. Another option she could do is kind of like sit right on it, but at kind of Christmas tree, so sit at a little bit of an angle, just so that if red were to try to tap, it goes right between those 2 yellow, because you can kind of load the gun not to be in their favor, but this is also works. This is a kind of a safe option just because you got to be really accurate with that draw that sits right there without accidentally harming yourself.
Kimberly with the hammer and N7 here. That's going to join the mix. A little short.
Not too bad.
Short.
Not too sure if the port's still there. Oh, there's a little bit of, it's like about a rock. You can hit it just right.
It's doable.
Yeah.
It's doable. Okay, now we're going to the thirds in N7, and so East Louisa Duckworth gets the call from Adriana Fisher, the junior skip. East has a, I guess in high school curling, a veteran group, 2 seniors, a sophomore and a senior. A lot of freshmen, sophomores on this roster. They've got 32 teams, 16 girls, 16 boys, and we have the roster in front of us for each.
Yeah, you got a few young teams also.
Yeah.
Medford's mostly freshmen with 1 sophomore. And
yeah, Wapaka's all sophomores.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Rock kind of just went off to the side there. Not ideal. Yep, looks like they're just going to guard it up again. They're still sitting 2. If they get 2 more here, it's probably over for Kimberly. Be 9-3, up 6. Yeah.
Well, one thing about curling, there is a limit of how many points you can make.
Yeah.
And if you're down 6, good luck.
Yeah. If only 8 rocks to throw, you got to get 6 out of the 8 to just tie, 7 out of 8 just to win it.
Yeah.
It's like almost, it's pretty close to impossible to get 8 enders where you get all 8 in. It's doable. Well, it's possible, but like not usually doable. Okay.
I'm not sure I've seen it. Especially in high school.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a nice assortment of rocks right up there. It's going to be kind of hard for Kimberly. They can, probably draw down 2 there.
Well, she was happy with it. Louisa was, she was happy with it. Somebody did something nice.
Yeah.
We're upstairs here, so we're not really in the action. We've got our own little monitor and equipment up here. So I think that's the first time I've heard crowds. Of course, you know what happened the first 2 games. They didn't last all 8 ends, so we weren't even around for finishes like that.
Yeah.
Looks
like from here where I can see, looks like it's sheet 1. Must have been a pretty close game since they're shaking hands and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. Those are the kind you like to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Eight sheets, they're all busy until the semifinals tomorrow. And then there are 4 teams, girls teams, and 4 boys teams. And And then it comes down to semis and
two.
final.
Yep. Looks like that was kind of an error on Wausau East's part. They opened it up a little for Kimberly to get in there. Question is, will Kimberly capitalize on this? Looks like it's not bad weight. They could probably get it there. Question is if it's going to curl just right. So they're going to start touching that forfeit line right about now. They're going to have to stay close. Okay, they cleared the guard. It's got to curl a little bit more to get to that inside. This might be real nice. Look at that.
Look at that.
It might even be count. Yeah, I think they're count one. Wausau East might be the second count on the left, and then that top Kimberly Rock might be third.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's going to change.
Yeah.
We got the skips for both teams yet.
If Wausau East has a say in it.
Yeah, yeah. But that was a good rock. I mean, that was a good, you know. Good event for Kimberly to give them some hope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they could pick up a couple here,
they might have a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, then you know they know they can do it. That's half the battle sometimes, is knowing you can do something.
Yep. Looks like Wausau East is going to throw a hit, just from the ice I'm seeing. I'm guessing they're going to try to punch it in between those two yellow rocks, kind of through the hole. She just has to hit about 3/4, a little bit on the left side of that red. I'm not too sure how much clearance there is between the guard and that red rock up there. If there's like half a rock visible. Yeah, I'm gonna go with maybe half, so like there should be enough for her to get it out. Question is if she's gonna get it, she's gonna have to cut it pretty close to that guard.
Okay, Adriana Fisher for Wausau East, first of two tosses as we wind down in 7.
Looks like they're sweeping it. It is starting to get close to that forfeit line, and they might have overswept it a little. We'll see. It's close.
It's got to come back a little bit.
Yeah, I think they jumped it just a little early, but they might still get a piece. Okay, it looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
it paid off. They're
All
good.
right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, sweepers are smiling. Looks like they're having a good time.
Yeah. And it's fun to watch them
Yeah.
in curling with the emotions
Yeah.
because it plays a role, you know. And part of it is because they know each other so well and they're such good friends, and they feel open to show their emotions.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Looks like Kimberly's going to call for the draw to the button, maybe down to that yellow. She's got to be touching a little bit of that center just so that she outcounts that one yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is if she can bury it enough so that Wausau East can't get to it.
Grace Nullavoit.
It's curling.
Yeah, she's going
It's
for
also heavy. I think they might go right through the hole there. Careful. Oh, he's going to catch a piece. Nice.
That was
And
nice
roll. Wow.
Yeah, they.
Question is, will Wausau East freeze on it? So it looks like Kimberly's sending 1, Wausau East 2, and then Kimberly has third count. Wausau East's going to go for the draw. If it comes up light, guard's not the worst, but then you're kind of preventing Kimberly from trying to score 2 here.
Yeah, that would make sense. We'll give them 1.
Yeah. Still up 3 with hammer in the 8th. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. This was the last rock for the Lumberjacks in this end.
not bad weight.
It's coming.
But it's gonna crash, sadly. Oh, no, not quite. Just a little inside of from what they wanted.
Okay, so now they're actually giving them
At least one here.
one.
See if Kimberly can capitalize and get 2 or maybe even 3 if they're really fortunate. Question is what shot to throw to get to that.
Well, we've been asking for rocks in the button, John. We're getting
Yeah. Time to see if the skips can deliver.
Yep. Yep.
She's got to touch the button if she wants to get 2 here. And she's got to be careful not to tap her red out while in the process.
Critical point in this one, right here.
Could be a touch tight. Weight doesn't seem so bad at the moment, but we'll kind of see if it travels down. Yeah, just a little tight.
Mm-hmm.
But you still get 1. So down 3. Okay, they're gonna have to try to make a comeback here.
Boy, they're under. I mean, 7-4. East leads. They have the hammer. As we go to end 8. So East in good position.
Yep.
You know, they can play it a lot of different ways, but basically just make it difficult. Make it difficult. Make it difficult.
Yep.
Well, John, I was involved with 2 earlier games today. One lasted 5 ends. No, 6. 6 ends. The other lasted 7, I believe. But the scores were 7-2 and 12-3. You were with me in the 12-3. I don't like those.
No, it's not that great of a crowd pleaser.
No.
It might be nice when you're the one throwing and you don't have to sweep as much when you're playing lessons, but it's not that great to watch.
Well, like any sport, you want them. You're not going to win every game in your high school career.
No.
But you want to be competitive most of the time.
Yeah.
And this game is competitive.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
You know, win or lose, you have some good feelings about it. Maybe some disappointments, some personal ones, but you know, you were competitive.
Yeah. So looks like they're gonna throw one up there in the house. Not quite. I don't know if that was what they called. Definitely needed to be a guard because Wausau could then just begin the initiative of playing a hit game.
Yeah, just
Wipe it. You're up 3.
just hit them out.
Is that a hit?
All you have to do East now, all they have to do is just keep them out of the circle, you know, just hit them out and hit them out and hit them out.
Almost looks like they called for a draw or a heavy tap, but I'd rather just throw weight because if you come up late, you're just guarding the rock. Yeah, which is what it kind of looks like, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right call. I mean, she seems like she might get it there, but like, I just don't know if that's what should be called.
I would.
We'll see what happens. Well, Kimberly, it looks like they're calling in the house, but I would call the center line guard. You got to have at least 2 center line guards here if you want to steal 3. I mean, without guards, you're pretty much relying on the fact that the other team's going to miss a bunch of shots instead of having to peel your guards. So,
Mm-hmm.
And it has happened before where Wausau East has missed a few takeouts, but it's not that common. It hasn't been as common as Kimberly would probably like. Well, this is guard weight. At least it looks like that.
Kimberly has a, you know, Cammie Lee right now, who just threw that last rock. She's a freshman. And then 2 juniors and a sophomore. So they're young.
Yeah.
They don't have any seniors. Katie Perkins is a senior, the only one on the ice right now. On the sheet where they're playing.
Yeah.
Sheet 6.
Sure, she'd be happy to get a win before she graduates.
Oh, yeah.
May or may not be their year. Guess we'll see as we go into tomorrow. Okay, Wausau East is going to put one top 12. Not too bad of an idea, considering that they have hammer. They just kind of want to throw some rocks in there.
Now, they're down. Kimberly's down by 3.
Yep.
Okay, we get into the end here where we maybe have 3 rocks left for Kimberly. But in curling, you don't know because you can always make, you can't say, well, they only have 3 left, so how can they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in some sports that's the case. This is not the case here.
Yeah, there's always a chance that Wausau East could really screw up a shot and accidentally tap one of the Kimberly's guards into the house.
Or some crazy thing could happen.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Not ideal. They kind of just opened it up a little. Wausau East should probably just play the tap on that right yellow into the red. And even if they miss it, if they just play like back house weight, their yellow could still stick around and it's open for them.
So far, this is going east way.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing what they need to do.
Yep. So you're going to run back that yellow into the red.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they miss it, they still open it up for their next shot. So, and if they like roll a little bit, they probably will still be outcounting that red way out on the far right side. So it's not a bad shot.
Anna Sewell.
Yeah, but I think they're going to have to start going, definitely
Second.
going for line. I'd say, yeah, they got to go. It's going to be close. They might need to like just clean. We'll see. Oh, it's going to be real nice. Nice shot. 3 yellow.
I think we heard some clapping for the
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
Probably some of the home fans here clapping. It was a pretty good shot.
Well, the timing was right.
Yeah. Someone's happy somewhere.
Okay, East in great shape now. They're doing what they need to do.
Yep. Kimberly's got 5 rocks left. They got to get at least 3 of those to be count. They do have one in the house, but it's not looking great for them. They call a hit here. I don't know if that's quite the right call, but like also you got to kind of score points. They're kind of in a rough situation.
Yeah, well, because East has them in the house. You know, there are 2 ways you can hit and replace or raise or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's easier said than done.
So they're just kind of going to move a lot of rocks around.
Yeah.
Wausau East just needs to throw another hit on that red, kind of just keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta get rid of 3 red rocks from the house, and then there's, well, 4 it looks like, and then they're gonna be set. But
Yeah, this is the second rock now for Haley Christensen for Kimberly.
should be a relatively easy shot. I'd say that's pretty good ice, and it's open hit. Just hanging out there a little bit. It's got to curl a few inches. It might hit their own, actually. I think she's just a little wide.
Yeah. Well, this was Lucy, wasn't it?
Yep. So it gives
Third.
Kimberly now a chance to jump back in. Sounds like one of the other sheets might have finished up, or someone made a really good shot.
There she is, Lucy. I mentioned it was her turn coming up.
Yep. It's really starting to curl. I'm not too sure if they're going to hit that top yellow, kind of chip off it, or if they're going to kind of sail right between them. See what happens. It gets close. It's just gonna barely chip. Needed a little bit more to not hit the red out.
Yeah, that didn't do anything for him. Closer and closer for East to a victory.
Yep.
They're in a foursome. Let me take a look at that. East is in a foursome with Point and Portage and Kimberly.
Yep.
But Portage is Portage 2.
Yep.
Portage 1.
Got a varsity and a JV team here, so it looks like probably why their JV team won the wild card spot.
Right, right. So if they beat Kimberly, Point is their...
Oh, they got rid of that red. It's looking pretty dark now for Kimberly.
Yeah.
If 3 rocks left, they're going to have to probably make every single one of them count if they want to stay in this. Looks like they're going to go for the hit. They kind of need to hit and roll behind that yellow on the left side there just because they can then cover, and then Wausau East has to make a run back.
Yeah, my guess would tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, Point will take on East for the division.
Yep.
You know, that's the way it looks right now.
Well, it's not a bad shot. They're sitting in front of that yellow there, so it's not going to be easy to get rid of that red, and they can potentially set it up so they can get their 3 that way. However, they don't have hammers, so it's not looking the best, but I've seen worse. Not too sure if East is guarding or drawing. It didn't quite look that close. One shot they could do is they could just kind of tap that red a little just to get it off that yellow, and then they could hit it later on because they're just trying to run red out of rocks here. But guarding it isn't the worst because then red has to make a shot now, so you can't disagree with this call. Except it's over curling, so not great, but we'll see what happens here. Red can't really afford to hit quite yet, I don't think. I think they gotta kind of set up, and then they're gonna have to make a really nice shot, but we'll see what happens here.
Again, they need 3.
It's true.
They need 3. And they've got a rock in there. They'll actually have 2.
Yep. Question is whether they're gonna make them count or not.
And they've got 2 rocks left to toss.
Yep. So it looks like at the moment she's gonna try to run that red back to the yellow. I almost think she wants to hit, if she can, on the inside of that red and roll towards the center, but I don't know how she's gonna get to that yellow on the far left to make it count.
Wow.
Ooh, this is gonna be a little wide. I'll bump the yellow out a little. The reds.
Well, now they got 3 in there.
Yeah.
But 1 count.
Yeah. At the moment, there's only 1. However, they might have actually bumped that yellow just enough that you might be able to peek it on their far right, but I don't know, because if they can get rid of that yellow, they actually might have a chance here. We'll see what happens, though.
It's going to take a minor miracle now, but it can happen.
Yeah. You can already tell that Kimberly's looking at that yellow, trying to figure out how they're going to get to it while Wausau East plans their next shot. Looks like Wausau East is going to draw. Nothing wrong with that. If they just put 1 right there in the 4-foot, probably a little deep at its best, then they have to figure out how to get rid of 2 yellow rocks. I'd say that the best in Wausau East's best interest to draw kind of in the back 4-foot actually, or right on the tee, because if you put it in the top 4, there's a chance where Kimberly could try to hit off it and then roll to the other. You don't want to leave them any double.
Well, they've got the skip up there now, Adriana. And they have the hammer, and that's so important right now.
Yep. And considering how open that right's, or I guess it depends on which way you're looking at, but how open that one side is, like, she's sitting pretty good. I'd say there's a good chance she wins this. Even if Kimberly sits 3, she still has probably a good chance of just drawing and now counting at least 1.
Yeah.
See what happens. She kind of looks like she's throwing a little light here, so it might just come up as a guard. Yeah, even the third's coming out to try to help sweep it. It might come up top 12. It's going to overcurl, though. Okay, now Kimberly has to figure out how to get rid of that yellow.
Wow. Last shot.
Yep.
This is it.
Yep, the make or break for Kimberly. If they make it, they can put a lot of pressure on Wausau East here, but I don't know what the angle is from the hack. Our camera isn't going to provide like the best angle quite just from our side, but if I had to guess, there's probably like at least half the rock showing. Hard to see it, but there's probably like half. So they just have to chip a piece out. I don't know if they've really looked at that top yellow biting the top 12 foot, just because that might outcount their red on the far right, but if it isn't outcounting, they don't have to worry about sticking. They just have to get rid of that yellow. If they roll out, they're still sitting 3. Wausau East came up short on a draw, so it might happen again. If they do stick, though, it's a lot better for them, so we'll see what happens here. They're really thinking it through. They're really trying to get that ice set up.
And taking their time.
Yeah.
Well, there's no time limit, so you can't blame them.
It's going to make or break here on this shot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because if they don't get 3 here,
it's over.
The other rock will just...
They'll throw it to the side and it's over.
Yeah, yep.
Here we go. I don't know if she said it. It's hard to say. She might be a little wide, not going to lie. I think it's over for Kimberly, but we'll see.
Well, she's going for it.
And, yep, just a little wide. I think she just had a little bit of a set.
Yeah. Well,
good try. She was close.
It was, and it was competitive.
Yep.
East a winner now, and they take on Spash to finish up their round robin situation tomorrow morning after defeating Kimberly 7-4 and moving forward toward a chance for a championship in this state tournament. John Wilkerson, thank you much. Appreciate your help. And that's it for this one. We've got another one coming up yet this evening. For John, I'm George Hirsch. We appreciate your joining us, taking a look and taking a listen. Until next time, take care.